Ladies and gentlemen, fear kills dreams. Fear kills hope. Fear puts people in the hospital. Fear can age you. Fear, ladies and gentlemen, can hold you back from doing something that you know within yourself that you're capable of doing, but it will paralyze you. And it seems like you're in a hypnotic spell. And I ask you a question, what is the benefit? What's the benefit of allowing fear to hold you back?
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Black Excellence Daily. I'm your host, Sean Croxton. Thank you for tuning in. We've got one of the greatest motivational speakers of all time, if not the greatest, Les Brown, on the show today. He's going to talk about how your life and your health are worth finding out what it is that you're supposed to do. As most of us know, there are particular chronic conditions, chronic health conditions that disproportionately impact the Black community. Heart disease, cancers, diabetes, obesity, on and on and on. I have a background in health. I have a degree in kinesiology. I was a personal trainer for 8 years. I had a very popular, actually, when I started off online in 2007, I was a health influencer. I was a very, very popular and successful health influencer for, I think it was 8 years. Had a YouTube channel and a podcast called Underground Wellness. Like, it was a pretty big deal. I've interviewed hundreds of health experts, and they will all tell you that one of the leading contributors of these or to these chronic conditions is stress. When you are showing up to a job that you hate 5 days a week, working with people who you don't like, and for a boss that you can't stand, your body is cranking out all kinds of stress hormones. Adrenaline, cortisol, your hormones are all out of whack. You're stress eating. You're not treating yourself well. And it's only causing damage to your body. And that's why so many of us are dying way too early from these conditions. And so your life is worth finding out what it is that you're supposed to do, something that you really enjoy doing. And you know, that begs the question, so what is that? Like, what is that thing that you love doing? There's a great book by Cal Newport, C-A-L, last name Newport. The book is called So Good They Can't Ignore You. And the premise of his book is that most people don't know what they're passionate about. Most people, when you tell them do what you love, they're like, I don't really know what I love to do. And so the direction that he gives is this. You gotta find out what it is. And when you're finding out what it is, that means you have to seek it. You have to try different things. And here's the thing. You're probably not going to love this thing at first, but you grow to love it. And you grow to love it because of you find that you're getting better at something. Everybody loves improvement. So even though you may not love the job at first, you're like, oh my gosh, like over time, I'm starting to get better at this. Oh, there's a team that I'm working with and I really enjoy these people. Oh, like I'm talking to customers and I see the impact that I have on them. That makes me feel really good. And as you start to feel those feelings, right? Those fulfilling feelings, you say, oh, I like doing this. And it stops being a job and it starts being a craft. You become a craftsman or a craftswoman, and you're just getting better and better at it. You commit yourself to mastery, right? It's almost like the gym. If you talk to most people in the gym, like, how did you first start coming to the gym? They'll be like, I hated it. Like, I did not want to come to the gym. I would rather be doing 15 other things, but I kept showing up. And after a couple of weeks, I noticed that I felt better. And a few weeks later, I noticed that I started to lose weight. And a few weeks later, I started to be able to see my muscles. And it's the progress, right? It's like, oh my God, I'm changing. Like, you see the effect of this thing that you're doing. And then over time, you're like, I love doing this. I can't stop doing this. And so, you know, read that book. I know I give you all kind of book recommendations, but pick this one up as well. Cal Newport, So Good They Can't Ignore You. And I think it'll open you up where you're not trying to just focus on what is this one thing that I love to do. You know, we sometimes think about, you know, what we're supposed to do for, a living as like a soulmate. Like there's only one. No, there's so many possibilities out there. You just got to look around. You got to date a little bit. You got to find out what you love. You got to see the progression. And then you're like, okay, I'm committed. Let's do this. You feel better. You eat better. Your health is better. And you live a long, healthy life. Les Brown's coming up.
See, if you know what your life work is, I encourage you to start working on it. If you can't do it all at one time, do just a little bit of it. And if you don't know what it is that you showed up to do, if you don't know why you're here, I encourage you to find out what your purpose is here. What is the meaning of your life? What will be different? Have you ever asked yourself that question? I've done that. I remember coming from a friend of mine's funeral, and I was reflecting on how much time I had left. And I went for a walk in a park thinking about this guy whose life was so promising. And I mean, he wasn't an old guy. He was quite young, in fact. And I thought about all of the things that he said he was going to do, and he never got a chance to do those things. And I started thinking about my own life and how much time I had left to do the things that I would like to do. And at that time, I wasn't sure what my life purpose was, what my life's work was. I wasn't sure about it at that time. And I thought about it quite a lot. I had some idea, but I wasn't convinced. That I don't think I felt worthy. I didn't believe that it could be me to do this kind of work that I'm doing right now. And I say to you that if you begin to take a conscious effort to find out what it is that you're supposed to do, I say that it can literally save your life. I said that it can literally save your life. I was telling a group of people of a study that was conducted. Dr. Larry Darcy, who wrote a book called Recovering the Soul, he said, human beings are the only living species that has achieved the dubious distinction of dying or having a stroke or a heart attack on a certain day. If you ask most people, what would you say the primary cause of why people would have a heart attack or stroke? Many people will say, well, because they smoke cigarettes, or because of high cholesterol, or because of stress, or because of obesity. And all of those things are contributing factors. But ladies and gentlemen, more heart attacks take place in this country on Monday morning between 8 and 9 a.m. That's when the majority of people who have their first heart attacks have them. 85% of the American public, according to recent studies, are going to jobs that they hate, working on jobs that do not challenge them. They get sick thinking about going. Migraine headaches after the Sunday afternoon football game or 60 Minutes, the anxiety began to build. And come Monday morning, they drop dead of a broken heart. Some of you ought to think about not going to work on Monday. Think about that. People are literally dying to go to work. Because, see, when you go to a job and you already know how far you can go, you can already see that proverbial glass ceiling. It's like going to a movie when you've gone in the middle of the movie and you've seen the end and you sit there to start all over again, but something is missing. You know what the outcome is going to be. You can't get excited about going through that movie all over again. Am I correct? See, when you're going someplace and you already know how much you're going to make, you already know how far you can go, you're in a dead-end position. It erodes your self-esteem. It lowers your sense of yourself. It creates some inner turmoil. It creates an emptiness in you. So I say that your life is worth finding what it is that you're supposed to do. And I'm not saying quit your job. I'm saying find it and do just a little bit of it. When I wanted to become involved in speaking, I started just learning quotes, listening to other people's tapes, going to seminars, going to workshops, asking other people to help me. Just start working at it just a little bit, but do find out what your work is and hold on to it and don't let your dream go. Don't let it go. See, and here's something else I want you to begin to look at. Why is it that most people don't pursue their dreams or don't do better than what they're doing if they're capable of doing it? I think that many of us don't go the next step because we don't know what to do yet. And I say that the reason that we don't even explore the possibility of what to do is because subconsciously we don't believe that it can happen for us and we don't believe that we deserve it. So here's what I'm suggesting. How much time do you spend working on you? How much time do you spend every day working on your dream? In the last 90 days, how many books have you read? In the last year, what new skill or knowledge have you acquired? What kind of investment have you made in you? So I'm saying that as you begin to look at where you want to go, if you want to make it today, and things are changing so fast, you have to literally run to stand still. I'm saying that you've got to make some conscious effort to begin to work to develop you. Here's something else. Most people are not living their dreams because of fear, ladies and gentlemen. I was in Columbus, Ohio yesterday speaking for a particular Ohio department. Young lady named Karen who greeted me, who organized the event. Very talented, very skillful. And she was talking about she wanted to become involved in the consulting business. I said, why aren't you doing it? I said, you have the abilities. I said, you're not here because they like you. You're here because you're doing the job. You're making things happen. And she came up with all kinds of ideas, but finally she said, I guess I can't see myself doing it. I guess I'm afraid. Fear, limited vision, and lack of self-esteem is what keep most people doing things they don't want to do. I flew from Columbus, Ohio to Denver, Colorado to a major communications company. And the person that picked me up at the airport told me about the fact that the company was planning on having a major downsizing. And they offered some of the employees there an early retirement, and some of them will earn as much as $300,000. And they said, this is the last time that you can take this offer. If you don't do it when we have the downsizing, you might be among those who will lose their jobs, and all you will get is your severance pay. And only 50% of the people who were eligible to take the $300,000 took it. The others were afraid to take a chance on themselves. The others couldn't see themselves beyond that company. They couldn't see life after that company. The same reason that people stay in relationships where they're abused or they're unhappy or it's unfulfilling. They can't see themselves beyond that relationship. They can't see themselves enjoying life without that person. They think that this is all that they can do. The same reason that people get stuck at a certain level in life. They can't see things being better for them. And they think that this is it and this is all they deserve. This is all they've ever seen. It's been passed on to them. And they think that this is it for them. Oh, no. I was looking what Dr. Blanton, Smiley Blanton, who is a colleague of Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, what he said about fear. He said, fear is the most subtle and destructive of all human diseases. Ladies and gentlemen, fear kills dreams. Fear kills hope. Fear puts people in the hospital. Fear can age you. Fear, ladies and gentlemen, can hold you back from doing something that you know within yourself that you're capable of doing, but it will paralyze you. And it seemed like you're in a hypnotic spell. And I ask you a question, what is the benefit? What's the benefit of allowing fear to hold you back? What's the benefit of giving up on yourself? Of not stepping out on life and taking life on? What is the benefit for you? What's the plus in that? It's one of the things I had to ask myself. So I didn't want to make any mistakes. I wanted everybody to like me. I wanted to be perfect the first time I did something. It's not going to happen. You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to hurt some folks' feelings. You're going to create some enemies whenever you decide that you want to begin to take life on. You've got to ask yourself, how long am I going to allow this to hold me back? I like what Zig Ziglar says. He said, fear is false evidence appearing real.
That was Les Brown. His website is lesbrown.com. Let me give you the rundown for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, Iyanla Vanzant is on the show. I always mess up her name. Iyanla Vanzant. She's talking about having a vision for your life. Kelvin Boston, who is a personal finance expert, will be on the show Wednesday talking about how to raise your net worth. Myron Golden's on Thursday. He's going to give you his process for reading books and retaining the information that he reads. And then we got Tyler Perry on Friday talking about how nobody is stopping you from doing a darn thing. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm out. Peace.